Today on Burner Tuner, I unbox some parts. Get confused by what's in the box. Put said parts on a bike. Mess with wires. Mess with even more wires. And something miraculous happens.
My brother in Christ, you have returned.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Please clap.
Wow. There go Terry. What in reverse, Terry?
Man, I'm finna whip this hoe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us in the shop today. Last time we left off with the CT175, you know we tackled those crank seals, and unfortunately it did not fix our no start issue. But fortunately for you, I like to throw money at problems, and fresh from the mail all the way from the Czech Republic is our new ignition system from VAPE. And what the guys over at VAPE do is they take your tired old 6-volt points breaker setup on these bikes and convert it to a newer, more robust 12-volt system using a TCI type of ignition. So today in the shop, the plan is to get this 12-volt system installed on the old Yamaha, see if we can get it sparking a little bit better than it was. But first, let me explain the differences between these two systems and why we would be going to this in the first place. Okay, quick rundown on a points breaker setup. Here we've got our main components: a battery for low voltage, mechanical contact points, a rotating cam to operate those points, a condenser to reduce arcing, and your ignition coil. These manual contact points are controlled by the cam lobe on the inside of the flywheel. As they open and close, they start and stop the flow of current to the spark plug. Closed contact points will complete the circuit and allow electricity to charge the coil. Once the contact points open, the electricity is suddenly discharged in the form of high voltage out of the spark plug. In the VAPE system, the same principle is there, but it's handled in a more efficient way. The ignition system uses a magnetic contactless sensor to send a spark to the coil. This interruption between the sensors is functioning as our points breaker. When it's closed, it charges the coil, and when it's open, it fires a spark plug. Additionally, a regulator rectifier is used to smooth out the voltage to reduce headlight flickering. Now I've got a few reasons for wanting to move to the VAPE system. One being a more maintenance-free system, so I'm not going to have parts to wear out. 2, we'll have stronger spark for more reliable starting and more efficiency. And 3, I'm going to convert to a 12-volt system, which means way more light output, which is much safer. Okay, so in the box here, we've got our ignition wire and our coil. So this is what's going to send our spark to the spark plug. We've got our DC regulator. This is going to make sure that we maintain the voltage in the system. Here is our stator. This is what the flywheel will rotate around to create that magnetic pickup pulse. All right, and here's our flywheel. All right, that is our stator removed. I did put a new points and a new capacitor in there. Thought it was gonna help, but yeah, it absolutely didn't. I think this thing is just old and worn out. Maybe someone can refurbish it, but it's not gonna be me. All right, here's our old coil getting taken off. Okay, so next we just removed the Woodruff key. Now that was the piece that actually locked the old flywheel into position, and this one does not require that. It actually just presses on and then we screw it in place in the correct orientation. So it's up to us to set that timing. But right now we are about to put on our new stator plate here, and I'm excited, man. This thing looks really, really nice. Now we're gonna leave it roughly in the middle here. We can make our adjustments. We can turn it left and right. But for now, we're gonna place it right in the middle, and that'll give us enough room for some adjustment later on. Now, when it comes to timing this thing, we've got a small red line there, and we've also got an etched line on the flywheel here. Now, the way that's supposed to work is those should line up at the point of ignition, which per the manual on the CT175, the CT3 model, it should be 2 millimeters before top dead center. And so top dead center is when the piston is at its highest travel in the stroke. So we've got our fancy Bozzetti timing tool here, and we set this in the spark plug hole, screw it in. Once we get to top dead center, we will lock down this pin right here. That'll lock the rod in place. From there, this dial indicator can be dialed down roughly 2.5 millimeters, and then we're gonna go back up 0.5 millimeter. So we get all the gear lash out and get it at exactly 2 millimeters before top dead center, and then we'll place our flywheel on with the marks lined up. Okay, with our tool in here, we are at exactly top dead center. Okay, so we've dialed back 2.5 millimeters down, and then back clockwise 0.5 millimeter to get us to that 2 millimeters before top dead center. And this should, according to the instructions, it should be in time. We want it right there. Perfect. Okay, something I overlooked. Right here, this is an M8 by 30 nut that comes with this to cinch down the flywheel. I use the original one, and that's incorrect. So make sure if you're doing this, grab the right bolts or grab the right nut out of the package to thread that back in. Okay, so the next part is going to be actually assembling the ignition coil and putting the wiring harness together and getting it set up on the bike. All right, that took a little bit of effort, but we're on there. Okay, so we've got our regulator and we've got our coil mounted. I'll probably end up using some bar stock between there just to get that coil mounted a little bit better. I'm not super happy with how it is, but the spacing on it doesn't really allow for anything else. So we've got our coil set up. We've got our stator harness here. We've got our grounds, our rectifier down here, and of course, so I ended up disconnecting this. It was not letting us get spark. So let's try this now, see what happens. We've got some pretty bright spark there. So I got some fuel in the carb. Let's see if we can get this thing to fire over real quick. How about it? Sorry if I'm a little messy. I just made a big update to this. Don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of smoke in the air, and I'm gonna show you why. Now I don't have a kill switch, so I gotta do that. I gotta figure out the kill switch situation. But we got a runner, yeah. So that is a huge win. I'm so stoked. It's a little smoky in here, but man, we've got a runner. And the best part is, David and I are planning a trip for this year, the Ducati and the new CT175. We're gonna get to some kind of adventures. We don't even know what we're doing yet, but I hope you guys are there to join us for the ride. Thank you as always for enjoying these videos, checking them out, leaving a like, subscribing, sharing. Do what you do, but please stay tuned for more of Brooder Tuner. We'll see ya.